to about 3,000 feet. Keep it coming up on the climb, and just turn to 180. So the climb checklist is very simple on this aircraft. It's climb power, which is full power, so that's set. Flaps, which is to verify up, which we are. Mixture is lean for altitude. It just has to be in the green. If it's in the black, we'll bring it down to the green. In the wintertime, it tends to be in the green the whole time, so we don't have to do anything with the mixture. The fuel pump stays on during the whole climb up until cruise, so nothing to do there, and that's it. It's really just checking that the flaps are up pretty much, and then your mixture's set. So I'll bring the cruise back up to our map.
Inbound for a full stop, we'll be overflying the field.
Yeah, very good. And now we're climbing, and now, like at this, you can climb 10 knots over VY. So say like 110 for like a cruise climb,
traffic,
so you lower the nose,
Charlie,
gives you a little better visibility in front
inbound,
of you, also cools the engine a little better, especially like summertime. Wintertime, not such a big deal.
Traffic for track 370, Blue and White Archer is turning to the southwest. Robbinsville. Robbinsville traffic,
big difference in
66
power.
Quebec, 2,000.
Yeah, so you'll notice one of the bigger
VOR,
things too at the
VOR,
beginning is just getting used to how quickly things happen.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that a lot in the traffic pattern when we're doing takeoff and landings. You have to be a little bit quicker and like think ahead of what you're doing. Our turns and base turns and final turns happen really quick. We don't really sit on them very long like you would on a Cessna. We kind of run like an oval racetrack versus like a nice rectangle. Alright, so now that we're at 3,000, you can lower the nose. Let the airspeed kind of accelerate a little bit first before you start to pull that power back. And now you can pull that power back, looking at that percentage to about, I would say 55 for today because it's a little bumpy. So we'll just have the speed a little lower. Our maneuvering speed is printed right here, so you can see it's 133, so turbulence, bumpy days, we want to be at that speed or lower, just to help reduce any potential damage to the aircraft if you hit really strong turbulence. Alright, and then you can start to trim that nose down so you don't have to fight it too much. We'll just fly nicely to the shoreline. But yeah, a lot more power, a little bit more speed, things happen a bit faster.
Yep.
But it's fun.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like flying a Cirrus.
We're traffic, Cherokee 43460 is moving for 45 left downwind runway 04. Hey, what's traffic, helicopter LV4, are you going to overfly the runway or land on the ramp? So we're going to shoot the approach, break off at about
so this message flashes, if you just hit this button, will let us know. It's one of our auto alerts for fuel tank check. Since we did take off on the right, we can turn this over to the left.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then our cruise checklist is just fuel pump off, so you can go ahead and turn the fuel pump off. Power set, which 40% is fine for now, just to keep it a little slower because it's a little bumpy. Mixture leaned, we won't get an indication for mixture unless we're within the cruise parameters. So cruise in this plane is like 56% to 75%. If the power is within there, you'll have a blue line show up, and then you just leave that triangle to it. But we could leave it where it is.
Turning downwind runway 24.
EGTs, similar to the Cessna, 1450 is what we're looking for max.
1721
Alright, so 1385 is okay for now. Engine parameters monitor.
What did you say we're looking for?
1450.
Okay.
Okay, so 1450 is max EGT that we want to stay at.
Got it.
Alright, and then fuel pump and fuel flow balance is just monitoring our fuel tanks and switching when we need. So that's okay. Descent checklist we'll leave for later. And we're good, we're just flying here. If you want to do a nice like left turn, right turn, try to maintain altitude, just get used to how the controls feel. We have, what, 15 knot tailwind right now? A little smoother up here than it was down low.
Yeah.
But just kind of feel how the plane is, how much back pressure.
21 Foxtrot downwind for 32.
Turn down their volume a little bit.
Wings traffic, 5 Papa Charlie.
Get used to how much rudder you need to use. The 22s have auto yaw dampers, which are really nice. That do all the rudder for you. They automatically kick on at 200 over the ground and kick off at 200 over.
I guess as we go up in level, we start cheating.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to use the rudder here, you know.
Nice.
But we in the 20s still do.
It's okay. I need to learn a little bit of old school.
Yeah, you got to learn those basic stick and rudder skills first, you know,
Yeah.
so then you can appreciate the yaw damper.
Yes.
But if it stopped working, you would know what to do.
There we go.
Now the weird thing though is like on approach to land, it kicks off at 200, so like pretty close to the ground. You got like if there's a lot of wind, you got to be ready for that. Now you're over, take over the rudder.
Yeah, cheating until a point.
Up to a point. So there's pro to con, you know, to everything. So.
Yep.
All right, and then here's our map, right? So we could see traffic on here from ADSB traffic. Doesn't mean everybody's going to show up if they're not in ADSB, but this is a good situational awareness tool. This little inset here is traffic as well. All right. So it's set to 2 miles on the inner ring, 6 on the outer. If traffic starts to get real close, you can zoom in to 1 and 2 and just kind of have a better feel for where they are. So this arc here, right now, we're at 4 nautical mile range. So this arc is at 4 miles away from us, okay? If it's at 2.5, the arc is at 2.5, and so forth. So he's like just over 4 nautical miles away, and it's negative 11, which means he's 1,100 feet below us. So we're at 31, so he's at 2,000 feet. So that's how you interpret that traffic. So at 2,000 feet, 4 nautical miles in front of us, there's some plane maneuvering. If they start to get close to where it's going to be like it senses potential collision, it'll yell traffic at you and be like yellow. And I actually see him maneuvering right there over the ocean.
Yep, I see him.
So I see him right there as well, visually. So this is a great tool to use to help you be aware of traffic and potential collisions coming, but you can't depend on it completely because, you know,
Always
Piper
get
Cub
visual.
or something might not be, you know, showing up on ADSB.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, they don't even have radios, you know. At uncontrolled airports, they don't even need radios, technically. Kind of crazy in today's age. We need to get handhelds and all this stuff, you know. Why wouldn't you have that layer of safety?
Yeah, 100%.
But legally, they don't. So sometimes you have to be aware by just looking, eyes out, you know, see and avoid.
All right, so the green, is that my heading bug?
So the green is your flight track vector. So that's where the plane is.
Oh, that's where it's tracking to.
Yeah, so like we had a really strong crosswind, we'd be pointing this way, you'd see the flight track vector pointing in the direction that we're actually going. That's a really good tool, okay, and it can help you cheat a little bit here. So like your steep turns, right? This white line is your horizon.
Right.
All right. That flight track vector is very reactive to what happens in the aircraft. So right now you're perfectly flying level, it's right on that horizon, right? So if you're doing your steep turn and you see that track vector below, you're sinking.
Yeah.
If you see it above, you're climbing. So when you glance in real quick, when you're doing your eyes in, eyes out, just look at that track vector, and if it's crossing that white line perfectly, you're perfect.
Pretty good.
You know, if you see it below, you need to add a little back pressure and pitch up a little bit to bring it back up. So that's a really quick indication, like on your steep turns or something, to know if you're where you need to be. So that'll be a big kind of tool to help you cheat. We also have synthetic vision here. As you can see with everything displayed. We can turn that off and just make blue over brown like a standard attitude. Especially like over the ocean part, it's almost a little confusing, blue and blue, compared to blue and brown. But everywhere else it does offer you a lot of good information to have. So we have another 1,800 feet below us. That's pretty low, maybe even a helicopter, Coast Guard, something like that. I don't see him. A little tough to see. He's within 4 nautical miles, kind of right off the ocean there. Bay. I don't see him, but no factor being 2,000 feet below us. He's going to be off your left somewhere.
Yeah. Very soon.
Yep, we can even go to our traffic map again and see what it is. It is a light aircraft and it's 67818, doing a ground speed of 73 knots.
Oh, I see him. Right there. It's very, very low.
Yep, perfect.
Right there.
Yep, so the Cirrus, it offers you a ton of information. We have sectional charts in here too, so we can go to IFR, VFR charts here and have the sectional overlaid, just like you would see on a paper sectional or like on a 4-flight tablet. And have all that information here. So there's a lot of different things we can do with this. We can have IFR charts, we can have traffic charts. We could have weather for any type of weather. No weather here right now, but there's just now this weather over that part of the country. As well as terrain. Any terrain. This is relative terrain, so any terrain like red we would hit basically. Any terrain yellow we'd only be basically 1,000 feet above, and any terrain green we're at least 2,000 feet above. So you could see anything that would interfere with your flight path is red. That means you're less than 100 feet to it, which obviously you wouldn't want to be.
Nope.
So it gives you a wealth of knowledge and ability and everything here. So what we can do is we can make a right turn now. You could do maybe head in 300.
Linden traffic, Skylane 90 Delta on final, runway 9, full stop, Linden.
And you can descend me down to 2,000 feet. So I'll descend this to 2,000. And you can just pull some power back and let it just kind of, since you were trimmed, it'll just fly nice and down.
Linden traffic right, we're descending left down with runway 9, Linden.
We're going to go to our nearest. MJX is our nearest. To MJX. Enter there. And then I can actually see the frequencies for the airport, the AWAS, and then I can actually go to this and click enter, load it into like COM2 active, load Unicom into COM1 active. Now we're on MJX, which is Ocean County. You can see it right there at our 1 o'clock.
Yep, I see.
Okay, that's the crossing runway. The main runway is 624, which is going this way. Yep. It looks like the pattern is landing 24. So we're going to come this way and then enter on a left downwind on the 45.
Yep.
All right. But we're going to pick up the weather real quick too.
0 at 11. Peak gust 15. Visibility 10. Sky condition scattered 3,400.
This is a good airspeed.
Temperature 0.5 Celsius. Dew point -0.3 Celsius. Altimeter 3005.
So 3005 you could set on the barometer.
Ocean County Airport. Automated weather observation 1717. Zulu. Wind 340 at 09er. Peak gusts 15. Visibility 10.
Gusting a little bit today. So not
Sky
the best
condition
training day, but we'll still do it just so you get a feel for it.
3,400.
Sure
Temperature 0.5 Celsius. Dew point -0.3 Celsius. Altimeter 3005. Ocean County Airport. Automated weather observation 1717. Zulu. Wind 340 at 09er. Peak gusts 15. Visibility 10. Sky condition scattered 3,400. Temperature 0.5 Celsius. Dew point -0.3 Celsius. Altimeter 30.
So the crossing runway 32 is technically the better runway, aligned with the wind. But just by looking at this traffic here, looks like they're landing runway 6. So we're just going to listen in.
Traffic, Cessna 757, Romeo Bravo, 8 miles to the west. We'll be setting up for a left base, runway 1, Cape Bay.
So if you want, turn right a little bit here. If anything, we'll cross over the center line and then enter via teardrop into a left downwind for runway 6. Looks like, just judging this traffic here, that's what they're doing. Yeah, I can see aircraft on final for 6. Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot, about 4 miles to the southeast. We'll be overflying the field 2000, entering a left downwind for runway 6 on the 45 teardrop.
Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot, about 2 miles to the northeast. We're starting our teardrop to enter the left downwind for runway 6, Ocean County.
Central Jersey traffic, 24 Victor turning base for 07.
I have that traffic in sight climbing above us.
For runway 01, 443.
Keep that turn coming in. We're right now at 1.4 miles, which is probably good. 1.25 the first one. So just keep that turn coming, and you're looking to put this dotted line right at the end of that magenta. So put it right on the tail. Now you can pitch back here and kind of level off. There you go.
Hamilton, 5261, left.
Keep that turn coming to the right. Keep it coming, keep it coming.
Central Jersey traffic, 24 Victor on final for 07, Central Jersey.
There, perfect. That's good. Now you can level the wings. So you can see this dotted line is going to that little diamond. You see that little pink diamond?
Yep.
It's on the tail of that pink line. We're flying a perfect downwind. It's giving us automatic wind correction.
Oh,
so you can pull power back a little bit, 25% here.
Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot, left downwind, runway 6, full stop, Ocean County.
Alright, so we're a little bit low, so we have a little bit of higher airspeed, so we're going to just trade some of that altitude. So just kind of pitch up here, get that climb coming.
Water scoot you up.
Alright, so around 100 knots is where we're at right here. You can go ahead and do flaps 50 here. Up here. We'll just keep it coming down kind of like we are. You'll feel that flaps kind of want you to balloon, so just make sure you push the nose down a bit.
Oh, okay, got it.
Alright, so you kind of have to really force that nose down more than in a Cessna. Alright. I don't have anybody on the pattern other than this guy further out here. So looking here, so keep that nose coming down. Have a downward attitude. About 300, 400, 500 feet per minute. It's good at this point. You can start your base turn here.
Is about 2 miles. Left downwind for 1, Cape Man. Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot, left base, runway 6, full stop, Ocean County.
Alright, we're at 90 knots, which is about the least we want to be. You can level your plane now, put flaps 100 now. Right now you're going to have to add a little bit of power probably, because you can see drag is going to really cause us to slow down. And then we're just keeping that nose coming down, so we have to push down quite a bit.
Cape May traffic,
Now you can kind of judge your final turn here. So you can turn final here now.
for straight in for
And 30 degrees of bank is about max that we want. And remember, like this type of turn, as long as your nose is coming down, you're safe. You have a low angle of attack. You don't want to pitch up in that turn because you don't want to increase load factor or angle of attack. All right, so that's good. Now you can bring that power back a little bit. All right.
06, Ocean County.
Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot on short final, runway 6, full stop, Ocean County.
Ocean County traffic, Warrior 333 Alpha is about 4 miles.
You're looking good, so aiming right at like the 6 or those 500-foot little dash 3 lines. 85 is looking okay with the gust, kind of stay 5 knots above 80, so 85 is looking good. And just keep your nose coming down, looking right at that point, which you are.
10 mile, final for Island 6, we will work with the VFR traffic.
Looking good.
And the traffic, 2261, left cross, runway 3, Amazon.
Alright. So we have the wind coming off the left here. You can start to bleed some of that power off. Now we're going to add right rudder here. So a little bit more right rudder there, and we're going to keep the left aileron. So power idle. Now just kind of keep it right over the runway with that right rudder, left aileron. Hold it there. Hold it there. Still right rudder. Good job. And then keep that left aileron in. So not an easy day for landing. With that gust, you could felt that float at the end.
Yep.
No problem there. Now, same thing in the Cessna. Sometimes if you get that little bit of float, you could just bump power in for a second, bump it out, just to make sure that it doesn't settle as quick. But this plane floats a little bit better. Not bad, and we can make Juliet here. So not the easiest day to practice takeoff and landings, but there was a good crosswind landing. So rudder to align the nose, but then that would make us drift off, so we use aileron to get back. We want to land the wing that's into the wind down first, so it doesn't roll us.
Ocean County traffic, Cirrus 20 Echo Foxtrot is clear, runway 6, Ocean County.
All right, so keep that nose coming down a little bit. Speed can come in a little bit more, so maybe just bring the nose down or bump the power in. But with the gust, normally we add a little bit for that gust factor. So about 85, which is where you are, is pretty good. So a little bit of power off now. And now we're just aiming right at that number 6. We don't want it to move in the windscreen. So if you were to draw a bullseye on the windscreen right where your line of sight was, you want to keep it coming down right to it. At 85 right now, which is good. Kind of keeping that crab in. Good, still at that 80 over the threshold here.
Is about 2 miles to the northeast now. We have a hotel
Above
room.
the threshold here now, I'm starting to bring my power down, but I'm getting it down to the ground first. Now I'm going to right rudder in and start to transition in there. Just kind of holding that right there. Push that wheel down first, and right wheel in and maintain that wind correction in there. You can feel those gusts.
Yeah.
And then that way we don't lift the wing in the wind.
Ocean County
So
traffic,
if that was the opposite wing up there and we caught that little bit of gust, that's when it can kind of cartwheel you a little bit there. And now we can probably make echo here. Good right there. Some brakes.
Ocean County 6 for Charlie is
And
lining
your
up
controls,
runway
and
6.
you can take us off here.
Ocean County 9, Hotel Romeo, down.
So you can see it happens real fast. Like that base, the final turn is real fast. Everything kind of happens a bit quick. Bit quicker than the Cessna. So it takes a little bit of building your speed reaction up, but then once you kind of get to it, you're good.
Ocean
So you
County
can
Blue
bump in
Sky
some
lanes on
power
the well
here.
6, Ocean County.
Ocean County traffic, Cessna 818, Cessna 152 is about a mile out from the left downwind 6, Ocean County.